Welcome to Amazing Fun Facts, the channel where your brain gets a daily dose of wow. What makes a great robot character? In addition to cool designs and amazing special effects, it usually takes a combination of memorable dialogue and an iconic voice to make us warm up to these futuristic creations. With that in mind, here are 10 amazing fun facts about TV and movie robots. And if you love this kind of content, please subscribe and leave a comment down below with your ideas for future topics. Number 10. R2-D2 and C-3PO are the most iconic robot duo. There are plenty of famous duos in movie history, like Laurel and Hardy, and Abbott and Costello. But when it comes to robots, there are few more iconic partners than Star Wars' very own R2-D2 and C-3PO. They've been together since the very first film, where they were sold to the Galactic Empire. Since then, they've been loyal companions to Luke Skywalker and later Rey, traveling the galaxy and helping to restore balance to the Force. Out of all the droids in the Star Wars universe, these two are undoubtedly the most beloved. That might have something to do with the fact that they're the only ones to appear in every single main Star Wars movie, even before or during the time of the Galactic Empire. As such, R2-D2 and C-3PO will go down in history as two of the most recognizable robots ever seen on the big screen. Number 9. The first robot in film appeared in 1927. We tend to think of robots as being relatively modern inventions, but the truth is, the idea of sentient machines has captured our imaginations for decades. The first robot to appear on screen was actually created almost a century ago. In the silent movie Metropolis, the evil Baron uses a robot, known simply as Maria, to spy on the workers in his factory and keep them under his control. It wasn't a particularly complex role, but the character had a huge impact on popular culture. The robot Maria is widely believed to have inspired the design of C-3PO, the protocol droid from Star Wars. She also predicted many of the fears we now associate with artificial intelligence, like the idea that robots could one day become self-aware and even rebel against their creators. For that reason, Metropolis is still considered a landmark achievement in the world of science fiction. Number 8. WALL-E has very few words, but big emotion. When Pixar released WALL-E in 2008, the general consensus was that it was one of their best movies yet. The animation was gorgeous, the story was sweet, and the voice acting was phenomenal. But one thing that really stood out about WALL-E was the fact that he didn't speak much. He could say a few phrases, like, "I need a recharge and take me to the box." But his dialogue was otherwise limited to beeps and boops. Despite this, WALL-E was able to convey a wide range of emotions, from sadness and loneliness to joy and love. This was largely thanks to the work of sound designer Ben Burtt, who used a blend of mechanical and human sounds to bring the character to life. Burtt was also responsible for creating the iconic lightsaber sounds from Star Wars, so you can imagine how much care and attention went into making WALL-E feel real. In the end, it's safe to say that WALL-E proved that a robot can be just as emotionally expressive as any other animated character. Number 7. The Terminator almost had a very different actor. The Terminator franchise has been a staple of sci-fi cinema for decades. And while Arnold Schwarzenegger is undoubtedly the most famous Terminator of all, it turns out he almost wasn't cast in the role. In fact, producers considered a number of different actors to play the part, including O.J. Simpson. Yes, the same O.J. Simpson who would later be accused of murdering his ex-wife and her friend. Producers reportedly felt that Simpson was too likable to play a ruthless killing machine. But hey, maybe they should have gone with their gut, because Simpson would go on to star in one of the biggest box office flops of all time. Still, It's hard to imagine anyone else in the role of the Terminator at this point. Arnold owns the part. Number 6. Bender from Futurama is named after a crime. Bender is one of the most beloved characters in science fiction. Created by Matt Groening for Fox's animated sitcom Futurama, Bender is a bending unit from the planet of the same name. Like many of the characters in Futurama, Bender's name is a pun. Specifically, it's a reference to the slang term bender, which refers to a drunken spree. This is fitting considering that Bender is a heavy drinker and often gets into trouble because of it. He's also a notorious womanizer, though he's not very good at hiding his disdain for humanity. Despite all this, Bender has a heart of gold deep down. He's proven himself to be a loyal friend on many occasions, and he's even capable of great acts of selflessness. Who could forget the time he sacrificed himself to save the entire planet? Number 5. Data from Star Trek was inspired by Pinocchio. There have been many memorable characters in the Star Trek franchise, but one of the most intriguing is undoubtedly Data. The ship's android, created by Gene Roddenberry, Data is an artificial life form who joins the crew of the Enterprise in the mid-20th century. Like many of the best science fiction characters, Data is a deeply thoughtful character who grapples with some of the big questions about what it means to be human. Throughout his adventures on the Enterprise, Data often dreams of becoming human himself. This desire leads him to study human behavior and emotions, which sometimes leads to hilarious results. But Data's quest for humanity is ultimately a noble one. In the end, he learns that what makes us human isn't our physical form, but our capacity for love, compassion, and empathy. Many fans believe that Data's story was directly inspired by the classic children's story of Pinocchio, a wooden puppet who dreams of becoming a real boy. Either way, Data is one of the most iconic robots in science fiction history. Number 4. Optimus Prime's voice actor also did Eeyore. There have been many great voice actors over the years, but few are more talented than Peter Cullen. Cullen is the voice of Optimus Prime in the Transformers franchise, and has been since 1984. He's also the voice of Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. That's right, the man who voices a giant truck with a heart of gold also does the voice of a grumpy donkey. Talk about range. In addition to his work in voice acting, Cullen has also done some live-action work, including a small role in the Coen brothers movie Fargo. He's also the voice of the narrator in the documentary series Planet Earth. Needless to say, Peter Cullen is one of the most versatile voice actors of all time, and we're lucky to have him. Number 3. Robbie the Robot had his own Hollywood career. There have been many memorable robots in the history of cinema, but few are more iconic than Robbie the Robot. He first appeared in the 1956 movie Forbidden Planet and became an instant hit. Audiences loved his friendly demeanor and helpful nature, and he quickly became one of the most recognizable robots in the world. After his appearance in Forbidden Planet, Robbie went on to star in over 30 TV shows and films, including The Twilight Zone and The Addams Family. He was a true Hollywood star, and was even voted the 16th greatest movie, Robot, by a panel of experts at the Science Fiction and Fantasy Hall of Fame in 2005. Unfortunately, Robbie eventually fell out of the public eye as the years went on, but he'll always be remembered as one of the original and most beloved movie robots. Number 2. Iron Giant was a box office flop. At first though, now beloved, the Iron Giant didn't do well when it came out. Released in 1999, the film grossed only $39 million against a budget of $50 million. The Iron Giant received mixed reviews from critics, who felt that it wasn't as funny or heartwarming as other animated movies of the time. However, audiences responded much better to the film, giving it an 88% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Over the years, The Iron Giant has become a cult classic. Its powerful story and emotional impact have resonated with audiences of all ages. The film's message of acceptance and tolerance is also more relevant today than ever before. The Iron Giant is a true underdog story. It may not have been a box office smash, but it's a film that has stood the test of time. Number 1. Robot voices are carefully engineered. There have been many memorable robots in film and television history, but one thing they all have in common is that they have distinctive voices. Whether it's the calm menace of HAL 9000 or the chirpy tones of BB-8, robot voices are carefully engineered to strike the perfect balance between familiarity and otherworldliness. The voice of a robot often plays a key role in bringing the character to life. Take, for example, the iconic R2-D2 from Star Wars. Without his distinctive beeps and boops, he wouldn't be nearly as lovable. Or consider the Terminator's deep, robotic monotone. It perfectly captures the character's cold, emotionless nature. In short, the voice of a robot can make or break the character, and that's why so much care is taken in choosing the right voice actor. What's your favorite robot voice? Let us know in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell for notification for more amazing videos. See you next time.